Hey everybody, welcome back to another video here in Alberta. It's super windy out, so we're trying something new. I've got headset on and a mic. So let's get started on this video here in week 7. If you haven't watched our previous videos, go back and watch those ones so you can see how much our garden has progressed. And here we are at our first tomato row. So they're looking really good. Things are really coming along really nicely. We've got lots of growth happening, some really thick stalks. In behind our tomatoes are our hot pepper patch. There's a lot of peppers starting to grow, so this week I'm going to be spending a lot of time identifying what type of peppers we have growing and when I should be harvesting them, because some of them are getting to a very good size. On our back fence tomatoes, on our cherry tomatoes back there, we do have little tomatoes starting to develop, so that's super exciting. It's going to be really hard to get today back in there with our camera, but it's starting to come along very nicely. We're going to start moving along here. Everything's looking really, really nice. Here's our center tomato patch. It's really filled out. We've got a little bit of damage in here from the wind, as you can see right here in the front row. And that's just from wind damage. So over this next couple days, I will get back in here and get that all tidied up and all cleaned up again. But things are looking really good. There's also a few little tomatoes growing along the fence back there as well. Coming up to our herbs, looking really nice. Our dill's looking awesome. We've got some really nice peppers happening here. We've got one right there on the top of the plant. Looks kind of funny. I love those ones though. So it's looking really nice. Lots of growth. Things are really, really nice. We're super happy with everything so far in the garden. Asparagus is looking really good. Lots of new shoots still popping up. So that's great. As we come up to our garlic here, I have taken the time over the last week and cut all of our garlic scapes off, so there's no more scapes there. So now we will wait for the leaves on the bottom and the stalk to start to brown off. And as that happens, then I will be able to harvest our garlic. We've got really thick garlic stalks though, so that is super exciting, and I'm really looking forward to pulling our first garlic heads out of here. The garlic I planted here was a local Alberta garlic, so it's going to be really good to keep it as a local garlic because we're in zone 3 here, so it's good to plant things that have been successful elsewhere nearby. Our celery is looking really nice. We've got some actual stalks in there, so we will be able to start breaking some pieces off from our celery plants, so that's good. Our mixed greens and our center greens is looking good. Not too much in the way of mix, but we do have a few different types in there, some red lettuces and a few other types, so that's good. Super proud of our onion patch as we get here. Things are looking really good. Lots of growth happening along our onions, so that's really good. We're going to walk into the garden today because we're going to go and check out the peas. For one, they are getting really heavy on that fence. I'm going to have to go and reinforce that stake there from the wind. But if we bend down in here, you can see we have some peas. You can actually even see the size of the peas in the one there, so that's really cool. So we're going to let those sit for another week or so, and then those peas will be nice and plump, and then we'll be harvesting peas. So that's really exciting. But I definitely have to get down that row and help get those re-supported up and get that fence looking a little bit stronger. Right beside me is our kohlrabi and beets. So everything's looking really nice in there, shuffling back out of the garden. Lots of growth. Our leeks are getting nice and thick. That's what you want. And our kohlrabis are starting to develop bulbs on the bottom as well. Can't wait to show you guys what those look like when they are ready to be harvested. Our potatoes are looking really nice in there. A little bit wind blown. As you can see at the end there, they're just moving around like crazy. Lots of wind today, as I've mentioned. Carrots are doing really good though. It's our main patch, and then my secondary patch that I planted a little bit later. You can go back to previous videos to find that. And then our radishes that I've allowed to go to seed are 2 different types. They're getting there, lots of flowers. Eggplant is doing good. The one that is kind of in between the radishes is actually the one that's gotten bigger. And then our strawberry patch. So proud of our strawberries. Lots of berries in there. We've been harvesting lots. The kids have just been coming in here pretty much daily and, you know, filling their mouths full of strawberries and then throwing the tops back in. Onto our green bean trellis. It's looking really nice. The green beans are about halfway up that trellis. No blooms yet. There'll be a purple flower, I believe. They'll start to come soon. Talking of flowers, though, we do have some blooms on our marigolds along here. So that's nice to add some color to our garden. Soon we're also going to get some color on our 3 zucchini plants here, especially those 2 larger ones. They will start to have flowers on them soon, so that's really exciting. Zucchini flowers are also edible, for those who didn't know that. It's really nice if you stuff them with like a ricotta cheese or something like that. So everything along here is looking really nice. Super happy, super pleased with everything. The beans starting to perk up a little bit, so that's good. And then along here, our cucumbers definitely behind, but we've got lots of growth and lots popping back up. I will not be trying to separate any of these to transplant them. I'm just going to let them all grow and take it from there. Our peppers are looking really nice. I do want to bend down here and give you a little bit of a spotlight on this guy here because look at him. Oh my goodness. He looks amazing. So that is really exciting. And then, like I was saying before, a couple right there on top of that guy. I love those ones right on top. I think those ones are more of a chili pepper. But like I have mentioned, I am going to have to research which is which because that was a multi-pack of seeds. And now that I have actual peppers to help identify the plants with, it's going to make it a lot easier. Our scarlet runner beans are doing absolutely fantastic. Really pleased with them. We've got a couple flowers down at the bottom, but they are all the way to the top of this square trellis. So that's really exciting. Can't wait to start to see the beans on those. They should get quite long. And then our spaghetti squash is also doing quite well. We've got quite a few new growth leaves there and some tendrils coming off and hopefully some flower buds as well. And then turning around here, we'll stop at our raised planters with our brassicas. Our onions in our raised planters here are doing fantastic. I was not expecting the growth that they have had, but we're going to peek right in here and check out the size of some of those bulbs on those onions. And while we're here, we're going to stop and take a look at the growth on the Brussels sprouts. You can see some little baby Brussels sprouts down in there. So that's super exciting. They're getting quite large in that bed. We got a broccoli here at the front. And then some more broccoli in this bed. No broccoli tops yet, but they are coming along with lots of growth. Really pleased with how they're doing. Haven't had to deal too much with pests or anything on them. The only thing we're really dealing with is wind damage. And then we've got our cauliflower in this bed. Same thing, no tops yet, but lots of growth, so it's really encouraging. And then our cabbages in the last one here. Our red cabbage is finally starting to take off. There he is there in the corner. So that's exciting. Looking good. Our herbs along the front on this other side there are looking great. And then we're going to walk along the back side to check out our tomatoes. Over here, they're getting nice and tall. No baby tomatoes to show you over here yet, but there are some baby tomatoes along our fence, like I was saying, of our cherry tomatoes. Our horseshoe garden's looking great. Our bell peppers have lots of growth, lots of blooms, so hopefully over the next couple weeks we'll start to see peppers developing. And our mini bell peppers on the opposite side of this garden are doing much better over here than they are in our main garden. I think that is because they had the protection of the greenhouse for the first few weeks. Unfortunately, our watermelon and cantaloupe is not doing nearly as well as the other things. They were hoping to have a greenhouse around them and unfortunately do not. So I don't expect much from them, but still happy to be trying. This is kind of our experimentation bed. We're going to move down to our corn. It's looking really good. We're really pleased with the growth here, especially for never having grown corn in the past and being in zone 3. So it's about knee height now, so that's really good. Our squash is growing well throughout there, and so are our beans. And then we've got our potatoes back there. We have a couple blooms happening on our potatoes, so I will have to climb back in and trim those away. But overall, everything's looking absolutely wonderful. So I just wanted to thank everyone for coming out and watching our video today. Like you can see, it's awfully windy here, so please make sure you like and subscribe so you can watch another video, and hopefully it won't be quite as windy. Bye now.